Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden.
Well, Coach, no precipitation to speak of, but still a very chilly December day in Philly. Winter coats and hot chocolate abound here at Lincoln Financial Field. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. Leading them out at QB is the former North Carolina Tar Heel, Mitchell Trubisky.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Watch the slap, watch the slap, watch the slap.
They go play action with Trubisky. And the pressure gets to him again.
Now that's the way to open up a game on defense. Back-to-back sacks. We know that someone's come to play today.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Beal. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. The numbers for him from a week ago. 3 catches, 94 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And a promising start as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. They'll look to throw here on first down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 23 yards on the play.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now
and he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Now Joe Mixon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Giants' 5-yard line.
After 1, 7-9. On EA Sports.
With the score, Eagles 7, Giants nothing.
On the set. Mike, 56, right there, 56. Where'd he go? Let's get out the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play, don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. Gonna give this time to the tailback. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Second down and inches. Over the middle, complete. That's Beal. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. And worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now a give, right side. Kaufman. That second down play nets a -4. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Let's go.
New York set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
I want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay,
you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. Mixon with a first down carry. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and a yard, Trubisky. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Here's Trubisky. He finds his target, Beckham. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point safely through, and a rout is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
If he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing again on second down. Trubisky, and that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Trubisky to throw again. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. He'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
56. Mike, 56, right there, right there.
2nd and 10. Keeps himself upright. Being chased out left. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other. supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Now they'll run it on the toss. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that side.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
The point after is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Giants. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Trubisky, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll look to throw here. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Got a man that's caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? You execute really well. It doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Play action. It's Trubisky. Complete to right. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left. That's caught inside the 20. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big play there for Philly. 42 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Meanwhile, here a run on 1st down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. 2nd and long. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. From 8 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16. Trubisky now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to go back to Beckham there, and that'll bring up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 42. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
56 is the mic.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking for the end zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now it's Trubisky. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great...
Now the ball comes loose. When the Giants have it, it's picked up. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal. One last shot for Trubisky. The quick slant caught. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this.
Big numbers, 100 in a bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in a sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad being presto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more presto. Bitches throwing, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit you sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet points to God.
Big numbers, 100 in a bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, fast as big skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, count it up. Ay, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me, cause her like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, 100 in a bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. numbers. 100 million